Hello and welcome to Dawn Chorus Writes, a Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. This is a special one-shot for 400 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the love and support. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Let's make it to 500. And this is also a special requested lyrical one-shot by Ananya Konar. I hope I pronounced that right. She requested this song. So I hope you like it, enjoy, smash that like button. It really does help the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. If you've got any requests, if you've got any shout outs or anything like that, I'd love to hear it. Okay, enjoy. In Another Life. In another life, the one that got away. Marinette laid her pouch of sketching pencils beside her on the steps, leading down to one of the wildflower patches within the over-manicured Jardin des Tuileries. It gave her prime advantage of the palace. She pulled out her sketchpad and headphones, settling down for a few hours of uninterrupted sketching for the backdrop to a dominant theme of her recent series. Most people avoided her, looking like another student from the art college she had graduated from years ago. She picked up the 4B, adding a softer tone to the line across a roof, imagining her characters dashing across rooftops. Lost in the zone and the steady beats of the music, she failed to hear someone approach behind her. With a tap on her shoulder, Marinette jumped and then let out a huff, knowing she would have to shuffle everything to the side to let this person pass, who could have clearly taken another path. She gathered her pencil pack on top of her lap and did a little wiggle to the side, watching the worn boots amble past her, and then stopped. After another tap on the shoulder, she let out a groan. Yet another person telling her she shouldn't be sitting there. Yes? She pulled down her headphones to her neck. Marinette? Even though she hadn't heard the voice in years, she would know it. She slowly glanced upwards, taking the whole of them in. Adrien? Hey! Wow. Small world. Hey. How long has it been? His look had developed over the years and become a man in front of her, and yet he still held the same stare that caused her insides to flutter with his green eyes and wide smile. She lifted her hand to protect her gaze from the sun. He'd always been tall compared to her. It's been a while. Oh, why did he still do this to her? She had thought that she got better. She hadn't thought of him in years until Nino had said he bumped into him a few weeks past. He shuffled to the side, leaning down a little and blocked out the sun, casting a shadow over his beautiful features. What are you doing, sitting here? There was a lightness to his tone, as if they were still friends. Oh, just some sketching. What are you doing here? Without thinking, she slid her pencil case over the drawing, shifting her gaze away from his piercing stare. I had forgotten how much I enjoyed walking these gardens, often with you. There is quite a lot I've missed about Paris. It's strange, isn't it? Sometimes you have to lose it first to know how much it means to you. He rubbed the back of his neck. Some things don't change. She pushed a strand of hair behind her ear, suddenly aware of what she had thrown on this morning with a red scarf in her hair and a jagged stone t-shirt. Yeah, I suppose so. There was an awkward tension between them. What was he getting at? What was happening? It's great that you pursued your dreams to animate. I've watched all you've done. What are you working on now? I've always loved to watch you draw. I knew you'd be a star with it one day. He rambled, and yet said it with a sincerity to his voice she hadn't expected. Really? Her eyes shot up and noticed he had moved closer and was now at her level with one knee pressed into the rough gravel. Yeah, can I see? He edged closer to her when his ringtone interrupted. Sorry, need to get this. He stood back up and stepped back, replying to the caller with short, clipped replies before ending the call and placing the phone back in his pocket. I have to head, but it was good seeing you, Marinette. Maybe I'll bump into you again soon. Well, I'm always here. What was she doing? Why on earth did she say that? She pretended to search through her pencils as she felt the heat rising in her cheeks. Good. His phone let out a beep and he let out a deep-chested sigh. Better shoot. Bye. She drifted her eyes up one last time before replacing the headphones back on. Leave. Please leave. Dropping her focus onto her sketching, not noticing the awkward halfway he gave her as he turned to leave. She waited until the end of the song and let out a painful breath. It had only been a summer fling when she was 18. How did this man have this effect on her still? Ali had told her countless times it was the fact that he was the one that got away and over-romanced in my mind. That all I needed to do was find another to replace him in my heart. Like it's that simple, but it was done. He was back. She had seen him. The chances of seeing him again in the vast city of Paris would be... No. She wasn't going to spiral. She would not spend the next 24 hours, days, weeks obsessing over him. She would work, sketch, imagine what it would be like in another life. The sun was shining brightly above her, and yet the surrounding air had become chilly. She would head back to her studio and work on her characters and try again tomorrow. She still had time before her deadline. The following day, Marinette hadn't been in a sketching spot for long when she felt a tap on her shoulder. Seriously? She had arranged everything out and was in the moment. Why on earth? She glanced upwards and was ready to snarl when she saw Adrien smiling down at her, holding 2 orange juice cups. Hey, sorry. I thought I might find you here. We didn't really have time to catch up yesterday, and I thought... His voice veered off. She realized that maybe her expression wasn't welcoming and now shifted to shock. She took a deep breath, attempting at least a half a smile. Sorry. Hey, I hadn't expected... When you said you were always here... He gave her a bashful smile that caused her heart to do a somersault in her chest. Yeah, I did. Do you want to sit? What was she doing? This was a bad idea. Here, I got us some fresh orange. He handed her a cup. Thanks. What was happening? Why is he bringing me? He took a sip of his own and stared out at the view. What a great angle. It's as if I'm seeing it differently. Is that what you're sketching? The tang, followed by the sugariness of the oranges, brought a smile to her face, and for a moment she let her guard down. She slid her arms away from her pad and with a deep breath flipped it open. She stared at him as the bright red suit with the black spots caught his gaze first, and then he focused on the boy in the full black catsuit running beside her. His fingers ran over the top of hers as he tried to inspect the 2 characters she was been working on. It's silly, really. A new idea I've been working on. 2 magical superheroes who save Paris. They're great, Marinette. I love them. They remind me of the summer after high school when we first met. We make out in your Mustang to Radiohead. You said I was all you needed as we sang out the lyrics. On my 18th birthday, we got matching tattoos of a ladybug landing on the nose of Chat Noir. She shifted her gaze and caught his eye. We used to steal your parents' liquor. Yeah, and then climb up onto your roof, talk about a future like we had a clue. He let out a light chuckle before taking another sip of the orange juice. Never planned that one day I'll be losing you. In another life, I would be your girl. We'd keep all our promises. Be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay so that I don't have to say you were the one that got away. The one that got away. We would play music and plan out our university days. You said I was June and you were my Johnny Cash. That summer, we were pretty inseparable, weren't we? Never one without the other. We made a pact. Oh, why can't you tell him? Sometimes when I miss you, I put those records on. Someone said you had your tattoo removed. He muttered with a straw between his teeth, avoiding her rapid glance. Me? No. She pulled down the neck of her t-shirt and revealed the image she had designed at 18. He had called her his little ladybug, and he had the look of a black cat. Me either. He mirrored her actions, and for the first time, she saw a blush forming across his cheeks. Can I ask? Are your drawings? She looks like a ladybug, and he's a black chat. She tugged her t-shirt back up. Yeah. After Nino told me he saw you downtown singing the blues, the idea kind of came to me. It's just silly, really. So, I was your muse then? May I? He leaned in a little closer, brushing his fingers over hers, encouraging them out the way to see the figures clearer. Ironic, isn't it? Time to face the music. I'm no longer your muse. But in another life, I would be your girl. We'd keep all our promises and be us against the world. Butterflies swarmed inside of her as he stared at the images of the two characters. In another life, I would make you stay so that I don't have to say that you were the one that got away. I love them. What are they called? His green eyes pierced through hers. Ladybug and Chat Noir. My idea of another life is nothing, really. Like I said, just a bit of silly, not sure if I'll present the idea. She could feel the heat in her cheeks rise. She needed to leave. Anyway, I better go. Got a deadline. He released the grip on her sketch pad as she closed it shut and placed it back in her bag. Oh, of course. Don't want to get in the way, but are you coming back again tomorrow? Oh, the money can't buy me a time machine. No. Can't replace you with 1,000,000 rings. No. I should have told you that what you meant to me. 'Cause now I pay the price. Marinette? In another life, he placed his hand on top of hers, stopping her from packing away her pencils. I would be your girl. The words blurted out of her mouth before she could take them back. He nodded slowly. We'd keep all our promises. What was it we used to say? Be us against the world. What was he saying? It'd been years since they had last bumped into each other. She was no longer that girl he knew, and to be honest, did she ever know who he was? Because the one she loved would never have left the way he did. In another life, I would make you stay, so I don't have to say. He lowered his stare to the stone he had picked up and rolled between his fingers. His voice sounded distant, lost. You were the one that got away. I mean it. For me, you are the one that got away. Adrien. The one that got away? So much time has passed. How? Why now? He shifted his gaze back towards her face. It's never stopped being you. I thought it was being young, and my parents told me it was a fling. So when we moved to New York, I couldn't say goodbye. I'm sorry. That doesn't explain. Why now? She closed her eyes and held her breath. For the same reason you drew this. She heard him pull out her sketching pad and opening the pages. That's another life. He pressed his hand on hers, waiting for her to open her eyes. As against the world, Ladybug. Silly kitty. Thank you for listening. In Another Life. Special one shot for 400 subscribers. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. This is like, it just came to me listening to the song, this different twist on it, as if Marinette was actually one of the animators. So it's a little nod to them to say thank you for their hard work, and to say thank you to me. Smash that like button, comment down below what you thought of it, the little twist, and press that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we hit the 500 and you get another special. What can I say? Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.